Hello there everybody and welcome. In today's video I will make a bonsai pot using the pinching pot method. Many P's and B's in that one. Anyway, I like it because it's really easy and the result is usually very nice. It's what I could call a slow throw method. You don't have the wheel, but the result is almost the same. I start by using my hand and my thumb to pull the clay, and that's the pinching. In Finland, we have a really cold winter right now, so it's a long time until it's spring. It's beautiful, but really cold. Yesterday we had minus 30 degrees Celsius, and the sea is frozen all the way to Sweden. The pot is made of stoneware clay, so it will withstand the Finnish winter. By pulling the clay with your thumb and feeling with your other hand and the palm of the hand, you get a perfect pot. Just be precise when you build the walls. Feel the thickness between your hands. If you have a turntable, like I do, it's much easier. As you can see, I don't use that much water, but every now and then I dip one of my hands so that the clay won't just get cracks. You can also lift the clay a little bit from the surface sometimes. This way you get a bigger base. When I think that my bonsai pot has the right height, I cut the edges, and you can see in this video that I actually cut it many times because I want to check that the wall is the same thickness all the way. I use a metal rod to cut the edges, and it's important that you lock your hand and just turn the clay. This way you will meet the same place where you started when you turn it all around. You can cut it straight away if you want to, but I usually use 2 laps to get my needle tool all the way through. And then when you remove the rim, you will see if the wall is the same thickness. And after that, you can still continue lifting the clay to the right height again. I decided that this pot will only have 3 legs. 3 legs is good because all of the 3 legs will actually touch the ground. If you have 4 legs, the drying and the burning might make it shaky. The negative side with 3 legs is if your bonsai is heavy to one side, it might tilt your pot. So you have to think about where you place the leg compared to your tree. As you can see, I build it a little bit higher again, and once again I cut the rim. I love this method because it doesn't get so dirty. As you can see, I'm sitting in a sofa in my own living room, and yes, it's really easy. You will of course need a kiln if you want to burn a bonsai pot like this. And I burn it in 1250 degrees Celsius. So you can't just use a normal oven for this. It's now time for the last cutting, And after that, I will start thinking about the legs. I fill my pot with a plastic bag full of small pieces of polystyrene. This will support the pot when I turn it around. And I actually start working on the legs straight away. As I said, 3 legs will always touch the ground, so it's not that important that the clay is hard enough. If you don't want to make a bonsai pot, but you want to make a pinching pot this way, the only difference is don't make a hole in the middle of your pot. Then you can use this as something else. I roll out a coil and cut it into 3 different pieces, and then I slip and score. You can of course mark the exact location where you want to put your legs on your bonsai pot. Press them hard enough so they stick on your bonsai pot. And I of course slip and score each and every one. As you can see, I squeeze hard enough so that the legs stick, but not too hard, so that the bonsai pot will lose its shape. It's time to think about the final legs, how they are going to look. So I have a needle and I cut away the pieces I don't want, and then I start designing the legs. I use one of my handmade wooden tools. It's really easy to make them yourself, so if you're interested in that, please check out my video. There are so many different ways to design your pot and your legs. It's all up to you, of course, but also depending on what kind of a tree you have in your pot. I now smoothen out everything, and after that it's time for me to start thinking about drying. I make a hole in the bottom, and after that I burn it twice in the kiln. In between the burns, I will glaze my pot. When it's dry, I bisque fire it in 800 degrees Celsius or 1470 degrees Fahrenheit. After that I glaze it, and then I burn it in 1250 degrees or 2280 degrees Fahrenheit. This pot is now bisque fired, so I glaze it and I use a brush to just brush on 2 different kinds of glaze. It's also important that I glaze it a little bit inside because of the cold finish winter. And I of course also need to clean the feet underneath. otherwise they will stick to the kiln. It's now time for the last fire, and I must say I'm not really happy with the glazing, but this is what it looks like. I hope that you find this interesting, and maybe you make yourself some bonsai pots this way. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again on my channel. Bye bye.